Good evening, Nigerians. Good evening, everyone listening. You're welcome to the recap on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Amina Ojalabi, and I'm your host for today. And guess what? I'm not going to be doing it all alone. I have here with me my co-host. Her name is Faithfulness Wonke, and I'm so happy that I have a co-host today. Faithfulness, how you doing?
I'm doing
great. Am I permitted to call you Faith? That Faithfulness is a long one.
Okay.
How's your weekend?
My weekend is going so splendidly and fine. Good evening, Nigerians. Hi, Amina. I'm so glad to be here as we have hot stories. It's been a politically dramatic
week. Yeah, politically dramatic week. But before we dive into all this, we have here Peter Anosike, a political and a social analyst who is ready to dissect some of these major issues that trended over in the week with us. And don't forget, we are streaming live on YouTube at VOP 90.3 live. So you want to see the voices behind the mic, so just go straight to the YouTube, head straight to the YouTube, because we have a whole lot of sweet stories here, and it will be for your own advantage as well. And wherever you're listening for, don't touch the dial as we dissect right into the issues for today. But I'll start with the headlines, unedited headlines rather, because we as we used to edit headlines there, but this is fresh as it comes. The first one on the list I have here is resolve issues in your small party before aspiring to be president, says Akpabio to Peter Obi. And the other one is Nigerians first policy. Trade your escalate for innocent martyrs. Unfortunately, we have to mention this. Atiku says that. The third one is Wike saved PDP. Article reneged on our discussion. That's by Makinde. And Apuga adopt Tinubu for 2027 presidential election. And the last but not the least, the federal government react as part of Tomi did a Rotimi form shadow government. Wow. Shadow government in this administration. Very, very interesting. So let me just read a snippet of some of the first stories, which says the Senate President Godswill Akpabio has responded to Peter Obi, the 2023 presidential election candidate of the Labour Party, over his recent comment that the Labour of our eras past is all in vain. So Akpabio advised Peter Obi to resolve issues, the internal issues in a small party before aiming for the presidency in Nigeria. And this is coming on Thursday during the valedictory session in honor of the late former Federal Commissioner for Information and South leader, Chief Edwin Clark. And now, this is what Peter Obi said that got the attention of Godswill Akpabio. And I quote Peter Obi where in his tribute on Wednesday during the memorial lecture and date of tribute for Chief Clark in Abuja, where he also expressed concern about the current state of Nigeria, stating that the sacrifices of past leaders such as General Gowon and former President Jonathan were in vain. Now, Obi pointed out that the absence of protest in response to the recent fuel price hikes, contrasting the with a widespread protest during Jonathan's time over similar issues. And talking about this protest in 2011, there's a lot of issues trending on this, as Showore and Yusufu has also pointed out the fact that this statement by Obi regarding the protest is uncalled for. But before we also go into that, Obi also criticized the Nigerian government, claiming that there is no democracy and lamenting the accusation that is criticism of the government amounting to demonizing the country. So now, Peter Anosike, now the question is, let's start with this. Does the Senate's President Akpabio dismissal of the Labour Party, it's quoted by Akpabio, a small party, reflects a broader political intolerance toward rising opposition movement in Nigeria's democratic space?
There's a trend in the country now. Mm-hmm. There's a trend in the country. If you want to make Tinubu happy, criticize Peter Obi. If you want to make Tinubu happy, criticize Peter Obi. If you steal money and you want your sins to be forgiven, criticize Peter Obi. So that's what is running now. Understand me? If you want to make Tinubu happy, criticize P2B. If you steal money and you want your sins to be forgiven, criticize P2B. Understand? That's why Sanwo-Olu, who has already lost favor with Tinubu, decided that the only way he can make fences with his master is to criticize P2B. So when he said that P2B was demarcating Nigeria, he's not the only governor in the country. We have 36 states and 36 governors. But because he feels that the only way to make Tinubu happy is to criticize P2B, that's why he has to say that P2B is demarcating Nigeria. So I think
now Aisha Yusufu, we know that she's part of the movement of the Labour Party, and she has also come to back up Shawore in regards criticizing Obi.
No, that's I'm building a story.
Okay.
So
go ahead.
Shawore felt that he should run as the candidate of the youth. Understand me? But P2B is now running as the candidate of the youth. So he feels that P2B deprive him of his own entitlement. That is it. But Shawore did not know that Nigerians know what he did in 2014 and 2015. Understand? Nigerians did not know had not forgotten what he did in 2014 and 2015. Because he was supporting Buhari. I called him Shawore. What do you mean? Back in that's a military that you fought for years. I called him and asked him,
okay,
why should you back Buhari? Because we were in the Labour movement. I was in the Labour movement with him, and we are saying no to military government. Buhari is a military man, and you are supporting him. So Nigerian youths have not forgotten. That's why they are not following him and they're following P2B. So for Akpabio felt that the only way he can get a presidential support is to criticize P2B, and that's what is happening now. Reno, I heard that he has gotten an ambassadorial appointment for criticizing P2B. So I mean, if you begin to criticize P2B now, Tinubu will.
We all understand
we
all understand what this government is all about. If you're favorable to government, of course you always have a reward. Yes, obviously. And I've always
and one of the easiest ways of getting that reward is to be targeting P2B.
I've always said it here. A few Saturdays that I've been anchoring or co-hosting the recap that this is not just it didn't just begin in the presidential, that when Tinubu was the governor of Lagos State, if you look at the political history in Lagos, it has always been the foundation. Before now that it is graduated, he is now the president of the country. But I wouldn't rather go into that. Let's go into the next story that says Nigerians first policy, trade your Escalade for innocent mortals. So if you, wherever you're listening from, Atiku has given you an advice. And now the Tinubu administration latest Nigerian first mantra paraded through the Federal Executive Council is nothing but another tired PR stunt designed to deceive but not deliver. Now, Nigerians have grown wary of hollow speeches, and if this government is truly serious about local content and economic patriotism, it must start at the very top. Meantime, as more importantly, the era of jetting off from medical tourism while preaching self-reliance must end. Now that we demand that President Tinubu, champion of Nigerians first, conduct all future medical checkups at Luth. Now, the question I want to throw at you, Peter Anosike, is that how can the Tinubu administration convincingly champion a Nigerian first mantra agenda when top government officials are actually flaunting these rules?
That's what Atiku is trying to say. You cannot be talking about
Nigeria. Be talking to us. I think we don't know anything.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that. Akpabio's response to Peter Obi when he said, if you cannot solve the crisis, he bragged about himself that how can you solve the crisis of Boko Haram or major national issues? He said, I can proudly speak about the dualized thoroughfares in my cities, the international hospitals are built, and the digitalized said the digitalized governor's office I have built. I also initiated free and compulsory education and worked towards religious unity by sponsoring over 5,800 Muslims and over 12,000 to 15,000 Christians on pilgrimage. That was what Akpabio to Rome and Jerusalem. Akpabio, was bragging about his achievements.
Amina, go and check the allocation list in the country. Check where Akwa Ibom is and where Anambra is. Akwa Ibom as an NDDC state. Akwa Ibom has one of the biggest oil wells in the country. Understand me? So they are among the top 5 in federal allocation. While Anambra is among the last 30 in allocation. So if I'm getting 1 billion and you are getting 1 million, you cannot compete with me with regard to infrastructure. Understand me? You cannot compete with me in infrastructure. And everybody's how much did Akpabio left when he was when he finished his tenure? So these are just well.
All right. We still have it. We're still doing here till 3:00. Like it's been a very, very interesting one. It's been a politically dramatic week this week, and we are here. Rather, we've been talking about some of those issues. In case you're just joining us, we've been doing this from 4:00, and we draw the curtain for this program by 6:00. On the recap here, we're streaming live on YouTube at VOP 90.3 live on YouTube. Of course, I'm here. Amina, and I have Faith there with me. You're listening to Anosike is analyzing some of these issues. Now back to WhatsApp. Our WhatsApp line is
0817-175-6338.
You got that? 0817-175-6338. I could not miss your call for anything. Hello, I could not miss your call because I've been missing your call.
Can you hear me?
Of course, I can hear you.
Hi, Amina. How are you?
I'm good. I'm great. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Good afternoon to Peter Nosike.
Thank you so much.
My name is Jova. Peter Nosike, I greet you once again. Amina, there's a voice I hear underneath you there. I greet the lady there. I don't know her name.
Faith. Her name is Faith.
Faith, you're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Amina, the only reason why I listen to God's will Akpabio at all as a Senate president is because I want to hear him make a blunder. I want to hear him make a fool of the things that he say. That comment he made attacking P2B, Amina, can you tell me the genesis of that comment? You are in the hallowed chambers of the Senate and you were deliberating on a particular issue. You delved into what P2B said, and you started telling him to go and sort a problem in his political party. You diverted from what you were discussing to bring in a topic that never existed. Just like some people will call in here, and they are telling us things that never existed. And you keep listening to them. So I listened to him just, to make myself laugh. To start with, he's not supposed to be a Senate president because he never won an election. He did not contest primary. We knew how he emerged Senate president or how he even emerged to contest in this election.
2 minutes more.
So his comments cannot be taken seriously at all. For anybody who is daring whatever Soludo is saying there, Soludo, I believe in the story that Mr. Peter Isike just told now. The reason why Soludo is always attacking Bola Ahmed Tinubu, let me tell you, Soludo thinks that he will become the next president from Igbo land. That cannot happen. Because we know him. A man who cannot be sincere And I blame the Igbos. The Igbos are even the people who are so honest in their voting right and all of that. They will come and tell you they will vote for so person and they will do it. They will not deceive you. So you see, nobody fools anybody in this world. Let Soludo and his family continue to tell Tinubu, promise him what they cannot deliver.
Thank you so
but
much.
The truth is that we love this president and we want him to succeed. That is why we are critiquing him, telling him that he's not doing well. Those who are giving him information, President, they are deceiving you. Nigerians are suffering under your leadership. And this is not what you represented when you were governor in Lagos State.
So
President Bola.
Thank you so much, Joval. Well, what do you mean by is not the president knows? The president is learned. You've heard him speak English. You've heard the president speak English. He's very, very learned. In fact, he speaks accent English. Yeah, British English. So he's very, very learned. And of course, he handles the social media. I'm sure he says what is on the internet. And the response is says what is online. So we know that our president is very fluent and he knows what is going on. Amina, good evening. Don't be surprised. Very soon, Ola from Surulere will come back and confess the way Mr. Onokpasa confessed. An apple from Koka. Hi. Hello. Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from? Hello? All right. The numbers to call on WhatsApp is
0817-175-6338.
Before then, good evening. Amina, abuse is their trademark. Whenever you mention their fixed product, who they wore him with beautiful linens without next to nothing or living evidence, show us results. Hello. Good evening.
Hello, Amina.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Afun Adama.
Okay, you're welcome. Where are you
hey,
from?
There's noise there. There's somebody playing music there. So, my name is Afun Adama. I want to greet Peter Nosike.
Okay. Yeah.
Amina, are you hearing me?
Yeah, he's listening. Hello?
To say, Peter Nosike, he tried to give you, he tried well to give you, to give you PC 10% in Anambra State. For me, now 5%. If I'm able to reach 5%, you have to go and give Thanksgiving for church. So about to what you are calling it, hey, there's noise there. Let me call back, I beg.
All right, please do call back. We'll be glad to pick your calls, maybe from your end. And on YouTube, I'm going to be taking comments. This one says the signal is bad here in Ijebu. Oh, so sorry about that. That's why we have WhatsApp line, so you can check through some of your comments, put some of your comments on WhatsApp. Mr. Anosike, flip-flop is baffling. First, he accuses Tinubu of overpowering state. This from Abidin Adeyemo on YouTube. First, he accuses Tinubu of overpowering state, then lambasted him for not backing the APC candidate in Anambra. Which narrative should we believe? That is on YouTube. Keep your comment coming on YouTube as I will be taking them. I've taken some of the comments. Okay, here. Hello, good evening.
Yes, once again.
Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Janet is by name.
Janet, from where?
Pay the Tulumba to pay the retirees when he retired. None of our money.
Where are you calling from?
Have left school.
Where are you calling from?
Hello.
Hello, where are you calling from, please?
From Ogun State.
Okay, good. I just want to recognize you for calling from whatever you are. That's what I'm asking. Please go ahead.
We need our retirement money. Some of our children have left school. The retirees who had staff taught 70-something years, languishing in hunger, let them pay retirees money.
All right, I'm sure they're listening. Thank you so much for that. Let them pay our retirement money. Nigerians are suffering. These are part of the issues the Senate president is supposed to be talking about. Yeah, always talking about politics, 2027 election. I mean, okay. Good Good evening, Amina. Great job. When people say the next election is between Nigerians and APC, I asked what of 8.7 million APC members that voted for Tinubu? Are they not Nigerians? Every parties have their support base. Speak for yourself. No morality in politics, and politics is a serious game involving permutations. Emmanuel. So that was Governor Makinde that said that. So good evening, 90.3 crew. Please, our life is worse than when Tinubu met it. When I hear the name APC anywhere, no matter what it stands for, I curse it. I'm sorry. We have suffered so much. Return us to PDP or move us forward with Labour. Thanks, and Bagada. So we should return us to PDP or you take us to Labour. Where exactly are we going? Don't forget that these people they are defecting. Mr. Noseke, let's analyze this very well. These same people are the one defecting from PDP. Now they are defecting to APC. And if APC becomes ruling, if APC rule for the next 20 years or next 10 years, let's say next 10 years,
there may be no Nigeria if APC rules that long.
Okay.
I say there may be no Nigeria if APC stays in power for that long, because their mission is to exterminate the people of this country.
All right, you can keep your calls coming up on
WhatsApp via 0817-175-6338.
And of course via our phone number on
0803-692-9933.
A very, very interesting topic that we've been talking about. First, we talked about Akpabio to Peter Obi, resolve issues in your small party before aspiring to be president. Nigerians' first policy. I mean, no one is even talking about the fact that Atiku said, trade your escalate for innocent motors. Importations are banned. Wike said PDP by Makinde. We've been talking about ABGA adopt Tinubu for 2027 presidential election. But let's talk about Nigerians' first policy under Tinubu's administration, trade your escalate for innocent motors. If you listen, so that's coming from Atiku Abubakar. And now, Madam, this one says on WhatsApp, Madam Amina, my name is Kevin from Ogba. Godswill Akpabio is a noisemaker. He was a former governor of Akwa Ibom. Akwa Ibom received huge amount of money as oil producing state. The question is how much Akpabio left in Akwa Ibom covered, while Peter Obi left 75 billion in the state cover when his tenure ended. By now, Akpabio should have cooled down in prison like Unical Professor. Akpabio left Nokobo in Akwa Ibom state when the EFCC invited him for questioning. It affected for APC and his sin was forgiven. And it sounds like when one of the callers came and said, when Akpabio talks, it's like everywhere explodes. And he said, one of the callers said, I'm always looking forward to hear the comments from Akpabio, and it's like bombshell. I don't know if that man thinks before he talks. Yeah, sorry, but honestly, everything he says has just always been, just opposite of the government. Comical, yeah. Is it just comical? And he also looks as if he's shooting the administration in the leg. What do you say? Especially the sexual harassment case where they said, I cannot step down. He practically said he cannot step down. I mean, and so it's so amazing that even the president cannot even caution him when he talks as a Senate leader. I mean, Senate president in the country. That is so bad. This says IK from Agbado. Good evening, VOP. This your question. Oh my gosh. It talks to listener that is sorry. Please, you can call in directly if you cannot type in a very, very fluent English. Hello, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from? Hello, good evening.
Yes, like the man that was asking Peter Noseke, how many factories that Peter built in Anambra State. Please tell the man that if you're looking for factory work, my son will employ him. Noseke should not answer such foolish questions. If the man needs to work in the factory, please send it to my son. I will send his number to me. I will recommend it for my son for employment to go and work in the factory.
I mean, there's some.
The factory that Peter is not built in Alaba, that is his own pain. We employ him in Lagos here. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you for that. A free appointment, a free work. Come again. They can't hear you.
A free employment
without interview.
Yes.
So you can hear. I'm sure you're still listening. That's an offer for you. Now on YouTube, Ucheid Akachuku. The reason they attack Mr. Peter Obi is because they all know he's the people's choice, and they know he was robbed of his mandate and that of Nigerians. Kelly Stitches, we don't get VOP last bono. I heard the voice. I say, make I go see who'll get the voice. It be like 12 years old voice. Lol. Welcome VOP last born. Waiting be your name. Talk me. No use Oyibo. Kelly Stitches.
Oh my god.
We have okay, on behalf. I'm looking into the camera. VOP last born. You've given her a name. Her name is Faithful. So what a very good voice. She's coming up. So don't be so harsh. Come on. Let's embrace each other here. So that's from WhatsApp. Good afternoon, Amina Ojelabi, Peter Anosiki, and the other lady in the studio. Analyzing Nigerian current political landscape, I believe President Tinubu is uniquely positioned to pass the baton to the eastern region. The north is unlikely to relinquish power. Although I am not an APC member and I've criticized Tinubu's administration on various platforms, I think if Tinubu contests in 2027 election, he will win. Subsequently, I predict it will hand over power to East through Peter Obi. Is it possible after?
There's no possibility.
Oh, it's plausible that after the 2027 election, Obi might join APC. This might explain why Obi seems unbothered by eternal Labour Party issues. Talking about the Labour Party issues, and so a caller said that. Let's look at the fact that Akpabio said settle Labour Party crisis. Do you think is beyond Peter Obi?
APC are the ones behind the crisis in Labour Party.
So you're saying that
it cannot be settled. It's not Obi's problem. APC is the one that is fueling all the crisis through Julius Abure, Arabambi, and Akbata.
Good evening, Amina and Mr. Peter. Peter Obi is the only opposition we have. He's too clean for them. That is why they are afraid of him. Akpabio should settle his EFCC and Natasha allegations before talking to Peter Obi. He has shown is responsible for Labour Party problems. Soludo is twerking hard so that it won't be rigged out of office by Tinubu.
That's the fault.
Remember, Valentine accused him of blocking him out of APC. Chief Udo. From where? Please always put your location. It's very, very important, as we need to know where our callers is calling from. You never can tell. At the end of the year, we might do some banter places where you're calling from to say thank you for our callers. So this one says, good evening, crew. All right, keep your texts coming in. This one say, what is the meaning of savings money? That is not for me. IK from Akpabio. Good evening, VOP, Peter Anosiki, and Mr. Darlington, always off point. I fact check what they're saying is full of lies. Okay, fact checker. Atiku is right. Tinubu should lead by example by starting the use of local product too. John from Ijaniki. Even Atiku, that is even right. He should even start from himself.
Atiku is not or the president. Tinubu is the president.
And that's very, very comical, because the news about the importation of ban of solar panels. Did you see the story? And it was very, very obvious that this administration is full of joke. The government issued a statement that there's not a ban of solar panels, and guess what? And the next following week, we start in an update. 10 billion
naira solar panel in Aso Rock.
Then I begin to wonder where the SA media publicity, or rather, at these things, who are those that just drop the news, bam, and at the same time they attack themselves. There's no structure on that Tinubu's administration. I mean, the essays, the appointees, everybody just come out to just throw words online. Anyway, they need to get that together. If you're listening, Wilfred from Surulere, if at this point in time, given all the gibberish that Akpabio has spilled out from his mouth, you still think and believe that Nigerians will get better, most especially under his government, then your head needs to be thoroughly, carefully, and properly examined, and your brain needs to be properly checked, properly evaluated, and re-evaluated properly, because you may be suffering from the inability to think properly, so you need brain transplant. I mean, our APC means Association of Political Criminals. I didn't say that. What's your name? Wilfred. It sounds like I'm rapping, but that's very, very good. Very, very, very structured. Good evening, Mr. Anoseki, my journalist of the year, Dayo. Thank you. Congratulations, APC government. Yesterday, United Nations says Nigeria is #1 in Africa as most malnourished people, second in the world. Where is Bayo Ononuga and their musketeers to debunk it? Talking about the IMF fund, a lot of people, some alleged that it was fake, and some alleged that it was actually real, that the debt has been settled. What's your take on what do you think?
Nigeria is still owing IMF.
All right, we don't want to go into more of IMF stories. Let's keep up with this. Hello, good evening. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hello, good evening, Amina. How are you? This is Obi calling from Ikeja.
Welcome, Obi.
Anosika, agree to.
Thank you so much.
Anosika, don't shake. I'm with you, my brother. Okay.
Okay, he can hear you, so please go ahead.
I mean, Akpabio. I told people when Akpabio became the senator, I say he has crystallized. A simple analogy about crystallization: when something has been formed already, iron is put in a furnace, it turns red, and after forming in the mold, forming whatever you want to be, enters the cold water. It has already formed. There's nothing you can do to that person. Or let's break those things and put it back to the furnace. Akpabio cannot change. His sense of humor is negative always. See, I mean Akpabio. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear. We can hear you.
Yeah. You're talking about the P2B in Labour Party. I mean, if a man comes to tell your husband that he saw you with another man in one hotel, this, are you going to settle with your husband? Is it possible? These people are creating problem in Labour Party and expecting people to do more. It's not possible. They are the ones who causing it in the Labour Party and other party. And for people, for what they call it, Anambra State governor, he doesn't want to happen in Edo to happen. He's being smart, but it's not that everybody's going to give him. What will happen to Nicolas Oka, APC candidate? Because they are promising on November that he's going to be the governor. So it's another confusion galore in Nigerian politics. That's my point. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Anoseki. Now I begin to wonder. There's a lot of alleged corruption cases the Senate President has been accused of under Tinubu's administration, and we see that nothing is being done. We're talking about the Yahya Bello case. We have a lot of cases, and it's very, very clear. Nigerians are in debt to stories now. Nigerian politically in depth to stories that they're giving updates with the news and what is going on within the government, within the administration. And I begin to wonder why the government, this administration, sits so comfortably, and the fact that these corrupt practices are sitting and they are getting robust every day, and they believe that Nigerians, the masses, are helpless.
Well, darkness cannot fight darkness. That's exactly what it is. You see what's happening with the corruption cases of Akpabio and Yahya Bello and others.
Yes.
I said darkness cannot fight darkness. Understand? The ruling party is darkness. The people that you are mentioning are also darkness. So there's no way darkness can fight darkness, because the Bible says a house divided divided cannot stand.
Okay, where are my callers on WhatsApp? Let me give out the phone lines again. I'm missing my people wherever you're listening, because I know you're going to listen on YouTube. So wherever you are, please 0817175633. I've heard some voices, and I still want to hear some voices. But the voices I've been hearing so far is they are always encouraging. I mean, they are encouraging rather. I don't have to bite my tongue, because I want to hear some specific voices. Ugh. My husband must not hear this. Sododo is only talking for himself and his family. Whatever he wants to say, let him say it on behalf of himself. Let him not be speaking on behalf of an ember state. As for Akpabio, he's just vomiting rubbish. Until APC is Association of Political Criminals. Good evening once again, Amina and Mr. Anoseke. Mr. Emeka Igwe from Mafoluko. Good evening, VOP. Is sponsoring religious people to pilgrimage an achievement according to Akpabio? God will save Nigeria. Well, he just talked about his achievement. Well, if you think so, maybe. Good evening, Amina. What's the meaning of savings money in a bank? OB is a failure. Good job coming from you. I don't even know your name. Amina, it's only the voice of a true leader that got people tremble. And that is what you see in Peter Obi Odom. You've been listening to the recap on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. And we have been doing it here since 4 o'clock. We draw the curtain at 6 o'clock, or not 6 rather, but 4:55, because we'll take a break a little bit before the news comes up. But before then, we talked about some of the stories that have been shaking X on social media. Talking about Akpabio to Peter Obi, resolve issues in your small party before aspiring to be president. And Nigerians' first policy, trade your escalate for innocent matters. Wiki saved PDP by Governor Makinde. APGA adopts Tinubu for 2027 presidential election. Federal government reacts as part of Tomi Dele-Farotimi from a shadow government. And I want to take some of this from WhatsApp. Says, good evening, Amina and Mr. Peter Anoseke. I am John Okezie, a 71-year-old father of 6 from Oshodi. Okay, that is not for me. Okay, so the numbers to call on is 0803. Where is our baby voice? So our baby voice have gone to sleep.
Oh my God.
Okay, they are very, very good people. So don't you love their voice as well? Baby voice, VOP baby voice. They've given you a name, Faith. 0803-692-9933 to call in. So here is our caller. Oh, that call just dropped. 0803-692-9933 to call in. Hello, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. What's your name, please?
My name is Adelabu.
Okay, calling from?
I'm calling from Ikeja.
Okay, welcome.
Yeah, what I want to say is that Nigeria has been degraded to a level that how can a Senate President of Nigeria be proud in using it as an achievement that he sent people with the taxpayers' money to go to a country that Nigeria is more blessed than, because they are not doing the right thing. They will be sending people to go and pray and to do what? If those people where they are repairing their country, where they are doing well, is it prayer that help them? So it is a misplaced priority as far as I'm concerned. It's a misplaced priority. I think it should do it. I don't think people like that should find their way in top position like that. It's unfortunate for Nigeria. Good evening. Thank you very much.
It's unfortunate for Nigerians that we find ourselves, but the truth is just that who do we want to vote? I mean, aside from Peter Obi, if Peter Obi, who becomes his vice, who becomes the Senate president, they're still part of the government. They are always defecting from one government to another government. So we won't just get tired of talking about it, because it's like they're still the same set of people never forget that this set of people were once in the PDP. Now they formed AC, from AC to APC, and now APC, and now they're defecting to APC. So it's just like roaming in a circle, roaming. But we want people with integrity. And now, talking about people with integrity, what do you have to say about additional the AFDB Bank a man that wants to, looking at contesting for 2027 presidential election?
I don't know about that.
You don't know about that? It's in the news. You don't rather want to comment about that, okay?
I don't know about that.
Okay. Let me take this. It is true that the righteous don't last, but the wicked do last in the land. I don't want to give tribute to the late Pa Adebanjo, detribalized Nigerian, brilliant mind, a patriot, a unifier, person that says it is no matter how the taskmaker tried to use ethnic and religious bigotry to divide Nigerians for election gain in 2023, Pa Adebanjo should be immortalized and should be a reference point to the youth. Okay.
I support that 100%.
I want to ask, what will your corrupt taxmaster vote by a compromiser of institutions, Agbero breeder, be remembered for? It is a shame the worst of us is ruling the best of us. Now they have an achievement. IMF is part of their achievement, but I hope at the end of the day, we won't be hearing another stories in the few years to come, in about 2 years or a few years to come, about the fund, the settlement of IMF fund, because that is a talk for another day, if truly Nigeria have settled its debt. So go to YouTube and leave some of your comment on YouTube, and you can still call in on. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
What's your name?
My name is Chika.
Hello, Chika, good evening.
Yes, from Alimosho.
Okay, welcome.
Please, I like the way Akpabio talked to me. Akpabio is a rainbow. The money for my number. When he was attacking, he's doing well. All that he's saying that he did, I did it. Let me remember, it's a government money. It's a people's money, not his own money. He did a stadium, did many things in the president. But Akpabio, please tell Nigeria how much you have stolen. Please, how much you thief from Akpabio's pocket. You have done all the good things, but Akpabio, tell us how much you stole from Akpabio's purse. Then now we can give you grace. And the problem, solve your problem between Natasha. Solve it now. If you want to become it's a real man, someone who wants to become president, because you are not tell us what you did, but how much you keep. Thank you.
To Akpabio, solve your issue with Natasha, or how did he say solve your issue with Natasha, or step down? But he says no, I would not step down. Now for Peter Obi, you can see brilliant mind, focus driven, transparent, efficient man, full of competency and capabilities. He would have been president if the cash and carry INEC and judiciary has done its own work well by allowing this low grade mind people to enter power. That is why we are this nightmare. For sure, is part of those low grade mind sycophants which doesn't know what it wants. It just wants to tarnish Obi's image, but that can happen. Nigerians have seen their enemies 2027. We must open our eyes and choose Obi. Now, some alleged that Shawara is being also used by some of the opposition parties, to come out and talk against the administration, allegedly. And as a friend of his, like you said, Anosike, do you think that he could, you could vouch that is not towing the path?
Peter, Shawara is a presidential candidate of a political party. Understand me? He's a presidential candidate of a political party. So, and his party is in the opposition. So, what does parties in opposition do? They put the government in power on their tools, and that's what Shawara is doing.
Okay, good evening. VOP meets Peter Anosike, and of taking that. Good evening. I mean, Mr. Anosike, my main man. The fact is, Mr. Anosike has said the truth and nothing but the truth. The issue is President Tinubu is putting fear on all the governors to join APC by force for his ambition in 2027 election, and I believe before 2027 it will backfire. I don't blame Sododo. He is afraid. Nifemi from Oshodi. One last caller, and we say bye-bye to see you next week. One last caller. We say before we say bye-bye. Hello, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from? Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Just calling from Aja.
Okay, welcome. All the way from Aja. How is the weather over there?
And my regards to Mr. Anosike.
He's listening. How is the weather in Aja?
It's fine. Very fine.
All right. Please go ahead.
So now, my issue is, let me start from all the defections. Yes.
I have just 1 minute as my last caller, so we just have a short time.
All these defections from the ruling party, they are using all their powers. I'm not their fan. How can I be? It's very obvious. Go to the hospitals, go to the market. You see the situations that we are going through. How can I be their fan? But they are using all their cards to ensure that they are working. Where is the opposition? The Makinde said this 2027 election is going to be between Nigerians and the opposition and the ruling party. Okay, where is the M-man of the opposition, which Nigerians will look up to? Time is ticking. I want Mr. Anosike to please help. Obi said he wants somebody he will not join coalition that is not people's based. Which one of the opposition is now people's based? Now Nigerians we are losing patience. People are dying. Things are not moving. No job. The students are in disarray. Please.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We hope to hear more of you. Thank you. He asked you a question in 1 minute, then you say bye-bye to your people.
And what's the question?
He's asking you about the government, is asking you that what is happening, just take the floor.
Well, all of us are in Nigeria, and by 2013, APC had not been formed. By this May 2013, APC had not been formed, so there's still time.
All right. Thank you so much for those that have joined us. Those that are yet to join, because this is what I draw the curtain for today, and we have been doing this from 4 o'clock on the recap, and the recap is always coming up every 4 to 6 on Saturdays on VOP 90.3 FM, and it's always a pleasure to be here hosting. And of course, we have a new face, a new voice, a new baby last born, like you have just said, and giving her a name, Faithful. We're going to be doing it next week, same time, and of course, you look forward to what we talk about next week. So, and that's okay.
Yeah, thank you for understanding.
All right, have a lovely, beautiful, fantastic weekend ahead. Bye for now.